Hello everybody and welcome to the entertainment headquarters and welcome to another trailer reaction. And the trailer I'm about to look at is probably my second most anticipated series of 2025. The first one's come and gone. That was the conclusion in the final season of Cobra Kai. Very satisfied with how that ended. And here we are finally after, is it 3 potential years? We're finally getting to the final season of Stranger Things. That's right. Stranger Things Season 5, Part 1 is heading our way in November. We had a teaser that featured the different titles of the episodes, and now we're getting the full-fledged trailer, hopefully, to show what we've got in store. Now, there's only been a handful of shows, even while I love Cobra Kai, there's only been a handful of them shows that for me have been like an event series, like they come along once in a while where they are so big in popularity that they kind of take over and all eyes and all discussions are on that particular show. For me, the first one I remember when I was younger was The Sopranos, then after that Breaking Bad, and then, of course, the Game of Thrones. And obviously, the one thing with Game of Thrones I noticed was everybody was disappointed with the final season, and me included. And Stranger Things is one of those shows that, like Game of Thrones, people probably maybe after the 3rd season, it kind of skyrocketed in popularity. Everyone was talking about it. After the 3rd season, for me, is where it peaked it, picked the pace up and became popular. Stranger Things, I watched the 1st season, loved it, and I never thought it would get better and better with each season, and it has. It's literally grown epic with each season. And the last season ended off where we were introduced to the character that was behind all of the mystery within the Upside Down, the character of Vecna. And then we found more history with Max and Eleven. History with the character 11 and the character of Vecna and how they were connected. But Max, who was introduced, I think, in season 3, but I think it was season 3. It's been that while since I watched them. She had a massive story arc throughout the last season, and now we're heading into the final confrontation and the final conclusion, which it seems the Upside Down, if you've seen the last season, is starting to interlink with our world. So where's it going to go? Who knows? But I'm very excited for this particular trailer. So without further ado, let's get cracking and check out Season 5 of Stranger Things. Like in the music.
5, 4, 3.
Come on.
2. And
after what we've been through, this thing, it ties us together forever. I need you to fight one last time. Let's end this, kid. Found you.
Wow. Epic, epic, epic. Probably got me very hyped, probably overhyped for the final season, if I'm truly honest. The great thing I love about Stranger Things is I was born in 1983. So I kind of grew up as a young kid in the later parts of the 80s, but always remember it, the colours, the music, the setting of the 80s, and grew up then as a teenager in the 1990s. But even though I grew up in the 1990s, because I had an older brother who was brought up in the 80s, my parents, the 80s I have fond memories with in the early years and then in the early 1990s. And so the thing I think I've been more gravitated to when it comes to Stranger Things is the music, the costuming, the setting, the era it's set in, but it's still got this sci-fi kind of throwback vibe to things I love from the 80s. Things like The Abyss, The Terminator, Aliens, Ghostbusters, all of those franchises that I loved growing up. And, what a part of my life, Gremlins, The Goonies. And that's what gravitated me to this show very much so. The same with Cobra Kai. I was a huge fan of the original Karate Kid, 1 and 2 particularly. So there was always kind of that nostalgia-ness and connecting to it. But now this show, I think, is not only connected people who grew up in that time period and love that show and love that era, it's connected a new audience and given them a new vibe, and connection to, the time of that, the place of that time. That's why I generally have fell in love with Stranger Things. It's just the whole aesthetic of the show, the era, the story, the characters, the music alone. We were introduced to a character last season called Eddie, who, became the top character in my eyes, became so popular. And we're hoping he's back. We're hoping somehow he survived the events of the last season. Whether he makes a return, time will tell. But either way, that trailer probably's gotten me more excited than I should be. But I'm very much all in for season 5 of Game of Thrones. Fuck Game of Thrones. I'm all in for season 5 of Stranger Things. This is my go-to show this year, and I just hope, I'm not going to overhype it. I just hope it ends in a way where each character gets a heroic ending or a sacrifice ending where, it just pulls that way and it gives me the oomph that we want. And as for Vecna, well, he is proven to be probably, in my eyes, one of the best created villains in a long, long time. The creators, the Duffy brothers, certainly know what they're doing. And they've had 3 years to write this show to hopefully produce and get it off the ground in production, which each episode I'm hearing is 8. There's 8 episodes. And I think each episode nearly an hour long, and each episode rumored to be like a mini contained movie. Now that's a big task and a big ask and a lot of pressure. But from season to season, it's gone strength to strength. And I'm hoping the last season ends, like I say, on a satisfying note. And if it does, I generally believe Game of fucking Thrones. Get out of my head. I generally think Stranger Things will go down as one of the most popular shows and one of the greatest television sci-fi action adventure shows of all time. But that's just my opinion. What do you think of Stranger Things and the final trailer for the final season? Let me know in the comments below. But until next time, keep on enjoying your movies, keep on enjoying all things entertainment, keep on enjoying all things on streaming, and I'll catch us all at the next one.